looking at it. What do I know about this question on page 112? If you need to look at page 110, please do. Do I have a vertex? No, I don't. So is vertex form going to help me right now? No, it's out the window. Do I have the roots? No. So is the factored form going to help me? No, it's out the window. All I have are x's and y's, yes? So which one uses only x's and y's? Standard form. Standard form is ax squared plus bx plus c equals y, correct? Is everybody happy with that? All right. What do I have in abundance on this question? What do I have all over the place from this graph? I have coordinates, don't I? And those coordinates are all in what form? What's that? An x. What's that? A y. What's that? Was that? So, what can I do? Substitute them in. X is negative 2. So this is 4a, correct? What's this? Negative 2b. Do I know c? No. What's y? Okay. Does that help me? Does that help me? Did it get rid of any unknowns? What did it get rid of? The x and y. So I still got a's and b's, don't I? So, what can I do now? What can I do now? How? I got no x's and y's anymore, do I? So can I use 4 and 3? Okay. Tell you what. Oh. More answers is cool. I dig that. But there's not another form we can put it to. But let's see if this helps. I'm going to continue to work with this. Is everyone happy with what I did there? You don't know where I'm going, but does everybody see what I did? Okay. Now, watch this. I still have this available to me, right? Do I still have an x and a y there? So, watch this. I'm going to work in red now. 16a plus 16a plus 4b, right? Are we okay there? Plus c equals what? Using the red circle, what does that equal? 3. Everybody cool? Okay, now watch this. Doesn't C then equal 3 minus 16a minus 4b? Is everyone still okay there? Is everyone okay? Just doing algebra, right? What do you notice about that and that? I'll add in another thing. What do you notice about that and that? They're both C, right? So if that equals C and that equals C, what can you say about the two of them? They're the same, aren't they? Isn't that saying that 9 minus 4a plus 2b equals 3 minus 16a minus 4b? And could we do a third in there? And if we did a third in there, would it be possible to eliminate some variables? Do you think? Like when we did, think back to grade 10, y equaled 2x plus 7 and 2x, 2x plus 3 equaled y. And we did elimination, and we got rid of one of the variables. Do you think we could do that here? Yay or nay? We probably could, yes? Does anything eliminate there? Yes or no? Okay. I flew too close to the sun with this question, obviously. I want to get rid of this, and I want to come back to it later in the block, because it's the hardest of the quadratic questions by a mile, okay? I want to do a little more work, and then I want to come back to it, okay? You don't need to erase. Everything that was there we're going to use, okay, if you wrote it down. But obviously, we need to do a little bit more work with that type of algebra. Should I wait a few moments and let you have a look at the rest of 112 and 113? Because the vibe I am getting from you guys is you got to this question and it stumped you. And a great many of you stopped. Is this the case? I'm not angry. Like, just tell me, is that what happened? This is a really hard question. That's what happened? Okay. Then do me a favor and look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on 113 and on 112 and 113. Some of them are easy, right? Please go and do those easy ones. And then we'll do a whole... I'll remind you about what we can do here algebraically. We won't write it down. And then we'll come back and we'll attack this question. Is that okay with everyone? Okay. You guys do that. All right? And I'm going to walk around, help you with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we'll come back to this after we do a review of some algebra properties that apparently we need to have a quick look at. Okay? Everybody cool? Work together. I'm just going to be right back.
John.
I needed a moment. I had a difficult morning. Let's do a couple of these and make sure everyone's feeling okay before we go back and try the crazy hard one. So again, I'm recording, all right. So again, what do I have in this first parabola? What do I know? Don't worry about what I don't know. That's what we're going to find, okay? If you were looking for your lost keys, would you think about the fact that your keys were lost? Or would you think about where you last knew you had them? Which would you do? Where you last knew you had them. You would work through what you know to try to find out where they are now, yes? So what do I know here? I have a vertex of 2, 1, and I have a y-intercept. A y-int of 0, 5. And that y-intercept gives me an x and a y, yes? So, since I have a vertex, what form can I automatically use? Vertex form, which is y equals a x minus whatever the x is, 2 squared, plus whatever the y is, 1. Now I'm in trouble because I have how many unknowns there? 3. But are they all unknown? X, Y, A. Are all of those unknown? No, because we have an X and a Y, don't we? So we only have one unknown. Do we know how to solve for one unknown? Sure. So what goes in for Y? 5. What goes in for A? It's unknown. What goes in for X? 0 minus 2 squared plus 1. What's 0 minus 2? What's negative 2 squared? 4. So 5 equals 4a plus 1, yes? Minus 1 minus 1. 4 equals 4a. A equals 1, correct? If a equals 1, are we going to write it? No. So our final answer is this, but a is now 1. Y equals x minus 2 squared plus 1. Yes? Now I could have shortened this a lot, couldn't I? I could have checked, hey, I went over 2 and up 4. Isn't that the normal parabola? So did I need to do all this algebra? No. But is it helpful to practice our algebra? Yeah. Is this in the right form? No. Expand it. I can expand that in my head. X squared minus 4x plus 4 plus 1. X squared minus 4x plus 5. Done. Everybody cool? Everyone cool? Yeah. Okay. Let's look at 2. What do I know about 2? I have roots. If I look back on page 110, I see that factored form gives me the roots, yes? Y equals a, x minus p, x minus q. I can't remember if it's minus or plus. It doesn't really matter. But I have those roots, don't I? So y equals a, x minus minus 2, which is what? X plus 2. And x minus 6, yes? I'm stuck with 3 unknowns again, aren't I? No, I'm not. Why am I not stuck with 3 unknowns? Because what's that? That's an intercept, which gives me an x and a y, doesn't it? So can I put them in here? So what would I put in for y? Negative 12. A. What goes in for x? 0. What's 0? 0 plus 2. 0 minus 6. What is 0 plus 2? 2. What is 0 minus 6? What's negative 6 times 2? So negative 12 equals negative 12a, doesn't it? So what does a equal? 1. There's our a. So y equals x plus 2, x minus 6. Yes? Is that in the right form? Is that in the right form? So what do I do? Expand it. I don't need brackets. What is it? X squared minus 4x. X squared minus 4x minus 12. Does that work? Is my y-intercept negative 12? So we're probably good, right? Let's look at 3. What do I know in 3? What do I have? Once I have a vertex, what form do I automatically put it in? Vertex form. Y equals a, x plus 1, because it's minus, right? Squared, plus 8. Do I have another point? 0 and 5. Does that point give me an x and a y? Do I have an x and a y? So what do? Put them in. 5 equals a, 0 plus 1 squared plus 8. 5 equals, what's 1 squared? 1. So a plus 8. What is a equal? Negative 3. So now I have y equals negative 3, x plus 1 squared plus 8. Do I need to expand that out, or can I leave that with you guys to get it to standard form? If, like, that's the grade 11 part, to get to there, right? Is everybody good? It's going to, you know what? It takes 2 seconds. Negative 3, x squared plus 2x plus 1 plus 8. Negative 3x squared minus 6x minus 3 plus 8. Negative 3x squared minus 6x plus 5. Everybody okay? Now that we've done 3 of them, please tell me, what can I do as we go ahead? And you will help out future classes as well. Do we need to review algebra and this subbing in thing? Do I need to go back and do a day with the grade 10 straight lines where you sub the x's and y's back in? Or did you just need to be reminded that x and y is always x and y? Would that have been enough if I'd done more x and y is x and y? Cheer, yay, give me an x. I'm standing like an x now, but I'm sitting. Give me a y. Now my legs are like a y. Is that all we need? Some rah-rah about x, y, 2, 4 is an x and a y, and everyone would have been okay?
I think you just need some more class time for this, because this is helping a lot. Like, you just go to the
It's fine with me. I don't care. We're not going to run out of time. All right. 4, 5, 6. 5 is actually really hard. 5 is just like that other really hard question. So let's come back to that after we go over the really hard question. What can I do with 4? I've got roots. So what form should I use with roots? Factored form, which is y equals a x minus p x minus q, right? Okay. If you write it down, it's easy, right? So y equals a x minus minus 1. How do I write that? Plus 1. And x minus 6. How do I write that? 6. Now, do I have 3 unknowns? Yes, but I'm saved right there, yes? What is that for? X. What is that 5? Y. What is that? Y. So what do we write there? Negative 5. A. What do I write instead of x? 4 plus 1. What do I write instead of x? 4 minus 6. Now I do math. Negative 5 equals A. 4 plus 1 is 5. 4 minus 6 is negative 2. What's 5 times negative 2? Negative 10A. Solve. What does A equal? Positive 1/2. Right? So there's my missing A. So I take that up to there. And I get y equals 1/2 x plus 1 x minus 6. And then I would expand, yes? Right? 1/2 x squared minus 5x minus 6, which would be 1/2 x squared minus 5 halves x minus 3. Cool? Everybody okay? All right, we're going to skip 6 because it's another tricky one. Number 6 does some weird stuff, yes? What do I know there? It's tricky. I know the roots, don't I? Because it goes right through the origin, yeah? But I also know the Vx, don't I? Because it's halfway between any 2 points, right? So I got lots of information for this question, right? Just depends on what you want to do. I would go with the roots. Because that's, I like that one. So again, that would be y equals a, x minus 0, and x minus 20, right? Right? Okay. It's frozen, so y equals a x times x minus 20, yeah? Everyone cool? And then I would work from there. Can I leave it there?
So can you use 5, 30, or 15 and 30 to plug in?
Yep. Any x and y.
The same answer.
Yeah. Just like with a line. If the point is on the line, the x and the y work in the equation. Any x and y that work in the equation will end up on the line. Okay? So here again, you would work it out in any way you see fit. I can leave that now? Okay. And there's only 7 and 8 left, yeah? I only want to do a bit of them. Then I'm going to leave you alone to work on it. Then I'm going to call your attention back so we can do those 2 really hard ones. What do I have there? Roots and a vertex. So it's a choice now, isn't it? Which one do you want to use? Does it matter? No, because we're going to get the same one. How many people, if you haven't gotten to 7, just answer this question by a show of hands. How many people would use the vertex form there? 4. How many people would use the roots? 6. That's 10 of the 30 of you. The rest of you would just look at it and smile. So we've been doing a ton of root lately. Is it okay if I do the vertex one here? So y equals a x minus 2 squared plus 25. What goes in for x and y? Either of those. Now, here's actually Max. Let's do what you just asked. Okay? Let's do in green, let's do the negative 3. And then in red, let's do the 7. And we'll see what happens. Okay? So, if I'm using green, it's going to be 0 equals a negative 3 minus 2 squared plus 25, right? So 0 equals a negative 3 minus 2 is negative 5. Negative 5 squared is 25, right? So it's going to be 25a plus 25, yes? Negative 25 equals 25a. A equals negative 1, right? And I'm going to get y equals negative x minus 2 squared plus 25. Everybody happy? And then I'd expand. We're not worried about expanding, yeah? Now, in red, what happens? What goes in? 0 equals a 7 minus 2 squared plus 25, yes? Right? 0 equals 7 minus 2 is what? 5. 5 squared is what? 25a plus 25. Negative 25 equals 25a. A equals negative 1. Y equals negative x minus 2 squared plus 25. Same answer. Doesn't matter what point you use. Cool? And B, what do you have? Or 8. It looks like a B, and I'm old, sorry. What do you have for 8? Vertex. What's weird about the vertex? It's a decimal. But you could leave it as 1/2, and then it's super easy, right? Because squaring a half is just a quarter, and we'd go on. So would I do anything different here? Or would I just go y equals a x minus 1/2 squared plus 0? Right? Do I need to write plus 0? No, it's just that. And then what's the point I have? 3 equals a 1 minus 1/2 squared. 3 equals 1 minus 1/2 is a half. A half squared is a quarter. 1/4 a equals 3. Yes? Which is the same. How do I get rid of 1/4? Times by 4. So a equals 12. And what do I get there? Y equals 12 x minus 1/2 squared. And then I could expand it. Is everybody okay with all the basic 3 forms? Everyone feels good now? Feel better than you felt 20 minutes ago? That's what I'm looking for. Yeah? All right. So are we at a point now where we can risk attacking this question? All right. Before we go on, don't write this down. Just have a look at this. Remember last year when I gave you this question? Questions like this. And last year you knew that they would graph 2 lines, yes? And the answer would be where they connected, right? Everyone remembers this from the 10th grade? Okay. And then after we drew the lines and found where they connected, you learned an algebra way to do it, yeah? You learned substitution and elimination, right? Because solving these, telling me what x and y are, you can't do it because there's two unknowns, correct? Right? So what happens, though, if I add these two equations together? What do I get when I add 3x's and 5x's? 8x's. Okay? What happens when I add 4 and negative 4? Plus 0y equals, damn it, I messed that up. Let's make that 10. What do I get when I add there? 24. Do I write 0y? 8x equals 24. What does x equal? 3. Right? Now, if x is 3, what letter's that? What letter's that? X. What number do I write there? 3. So this isn't 3x. What is it really? 3 times 3, which is 9, plus 4y equals 10. Now, can I solve it? Because I only have one unknown, correct? So let's go back to this question and see if we can figure it out. What's the problem here? How many equations do I have to make this parabola? A parabola has one equation at the end, doesn't it, Burke? But I can write it in 3 versions right now, can't I? And those 3 versions are all ax squared plus bx plus c equals y, right? And what can I fill in there? I can fill in all my x's and y's, right? And Burke says I can do it 3 times. Why can I do it 3 times, Burke? Because I got 3 different x's and y's. Absolutely correct. Yeah? So my first one is going to be what we had earlier. 4a, I'll do that one in black, minus, 2b plus c equals 9. Is everybody happy with that? Yeah? All right. The second one was what? We had 16a minus plus 4b plus c equaled 3. Everyone cool with that? And then I had a third one. What was it? 4a plus 3b plus c equaled what? 2b equaled what? -7. Now, what's the problem here? I have how many unknowns? 3 of them, yes? So I've got to eliminate some variables, don't I? Where can I eliminate a variable? Please notice right there. Right? Will that make one of the b's drop out? And what about here? Could that make one of the a's drop out? So I can eliminate a variable, can't I? Right? So what one should we get rid of? Does it matter? You want to get rid of the b? Okay, so to do that, I'm going to I've got to add these, don't I? Right? So what's 4a and 4a? 8a. And what's going to happen to the b's? They're going to drop out, yeah? And what happens when I add the c's? One c and another c. 2c is going to equal what? 2. Everybody cool? C plus C. I'm adding the 2 equations. Yeah, we're not using the middle one because it had yucky numbers. But 4 and 4 and 2 and negative 2 work nicely. Is this okay? Am I in a bit of a problem here? I still got 2 unknowns, don't I? But I got a third guy right here, don't I? What can I do with that mathematically? You see 8, 2, 2. What can you do? You can factor it to get what? 4a plus c equals 1, correct? Everyone agree? What does c equal? Negative 4a plus 1, correct? If c equals that, what can I write right there? I can write that. And then do I only have one variable? And then once I have one variable, I can sub it back in, find the other variable, sub it back in, find the third variable. Right? So what would I do here? What does this become? It's 8a plus what? 2 times what? Negative 4a plus 1 equals what? 2. 8a minus 8a plus 2 equals 2. Uh-oh, what just happened? The a's have canceled out. Correct? And what else happened? The 2's canceled out. Did it find me my unknown? No, it just tells me 0 equals 0. We know 0 equals 0, don't we? So where else could I put that c? What else can I do there? Knowing what we know. Oops. Could I put it into the red equation? Could I put this c up here? What would happen then? Then I could get rid of, then I'd have a and b, wouldn't I? Wouldn't I? Okay. Then can I find b anywhere? It's all that stuff from grade 10, right? This is very... Okay. All right. I'm running out of ways to explain this. Let's try something new. Let's try this. Okay. Let's try this. What would happen if I changed this equation to this? C equals 9 minus 4a plus 2b. Does everybody see what I did there? Okay. Now, Max has already said he wants to work with these two, right? Because he noticed the 4's and the 2's. So let's take this guy and change him to c equals negative 7 minus 4a minus 2b. Is everybody okay there? Everybody okay there? Okay. What does c equaling that and c equaling that mean for these two? They're the same. Thank you, Jazz Carrot. So doesn't that mean that 9 minus 4a plus 2b has to equal negative 7 minus 4a minus 2b? Is everyone cool there? Okay. What do you know when you have the same thing on both sides of an equation? They cancel out, right? So if both those yellow things are gone, I'm left with 9 plus 2b equals negative 7 minus 2b, yes? Which means 16 equals negative 4b, doesn't it? Which means b equals what? Negative 4. Does that help? Now do you think you could figure it out from there? Does that eliminate one of these? So if I take that negative 4 and I put it in here, anywhere for b, can I then find a? And once I know a, I can then find c. Does that help? Can I leave you to this one now? What would you do with this knowledge now? Because I haven't shown you how to do it. I'm seeing if you can apply stuff you already know. What would you do with that now? Where can I put it? Just tell me a spot I can put it. Anywhere there's a b. So we've done nothing with the red equation, right? So why don't we work with the red equation? So I have 16a, yes? Right? Then what? 4 times negative 4, which is what? You know what? I'm going to write it out. Right? Everybody cool? Okay, now, we're in trouble. Can I write C? As soon as I put a C there, what do I have? 2 letters. Is that allowed? It isn't. But don't I know what C is? So what would I put here? I can't write C because that's the second letter, but what can I write there? 9 minus 4a plus 2b. I know what b is. What's b? Now, can I do that? 16a. What's that? Minus 16 plus 9 minus 4a minus 8 equals what? We're using the red equation. What does it all equal? 3. What's 16a minus 4a? 12a. What's negative 16 plus 9? Negative 7. What's negative 7 minus 8? Negative 15 equals 3. Now what? Now what? Of course you would add 15 to both sides. It's algebra. What does a equal? 18 over 12, which is 3 halves, right? So there's my A, there's my B. And what does that allow me to find? Once I have A and B, what do? How? Anywhere, right? Anywhere there's an A and B. Now that I have an A and a B, I can find C. Okay? What? Yep. Anywhere. Okay. So it took a long time to get there. People didn't see any of the paths I was taking until we went to here, and then people were okay. Let's start fresh on number 8 here. Okay? Do the colors help? Colors help? Yes. All right. So let's do the black one first. It's going to be, I'm going to remind you about standard form again. ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. So, what's my first one going to be? What goes in for x? Negative 4. What's negative 4 squared? 16. So I get 16a. What goes in for x? Negative 4, so I get minus 4b, right? Plus c equals y. What's my y? 8. Is everybody cool? Okay, so the red one, let's use that one. What's 0 squared? 0 plus 0 plus c equals what? 4. Cool? Okay. And then in blue, what do I have? What's 1 squared? 1. So a plus what's x is 1. So what is it? Plus b plus c equals what? 13. Do I have any? I have 3 unknowns, but what do I know right there? So where does that 4 go? Everywhere I see a c. 16a minus 4b plus 4 equals 8. Yes? A plus b plus 4 equals 13. What should I do with the 4 and the 8 and the 4 and the 13? You could. But why add an extra step? Are we going to get to the same spot? Okay. So what do I do with that 4? So I'm going to get 16a minus 4b equals 4, yes? And I'm going to get a plus b equals 9, yeah? Now what? Too many unknowns, right? So what can I do? Should I use elimination or should I use substitution? I should use substitution, Priyanka. Why? Because doesn't b equal 9 minus a? So can't I put 9 minus a right there and solve the rest? Is everybody cool? Everyone's good? So, what did we take away from today? We should take away this. Vertex form, root form, standard form. But if I have 3 points and those points don't fit into any of these, I gotta use a system. Okay? So here's what I'm gonna ask you guys to do. I'm not gonna get you to do anything in your book tonight. I'm gonna get you to do 2 questions. I'm gonna write them out by hand. Well, I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna steal them out of this textbook. I don't want you to do anything with your book. I want you to try these. And they're going to be systems. Okay? You're going to have just 3 points on the parabola. I gotta find a question that'll work here. Okay. You have this. I'm not going to draw the parabola, okay? I'm just going to give you the coordinates of the 3 points. You have 4, -3. You have 6, 5. And you have -1, 12. And I want that parabola in standard form. And you've got a little bit of time now. I'm going to put up 3 more points right now. And see how you do with them. I'll put up another one. Let's do another one at let's go with let's leave it there. That's good enough. Try that one. That's all I want you to do tonight. And then tomorrow we'll do the three application questions, and you can start on your review. Deal? Just try that. No. I usually have 2. There's 1. None of those is the vertex. You have to do the system. Okay? Oh, and guys, how many parabolas have we graphed? Hundreds, right? How many did we have to use this system on? 1, 2. How important is this? Like really, when you think about it. If I gave you 100 parabola questions, we've used this twice, yes? How many of you... No, that's the wrong way. Please understand that if you don't get this, do you throw out everything else you know about parabolas? Or do you recognize, you know what, I get 98% of what we're doing? Do you understand what I'm saying? If this is eluding you, but you can do everything else, are you in great shape? Yeah, you're just not in perfect shape, are you? And how many of us really are in perfect shape? At anything. So don't get super stressed. That's why I'm only giving you 1 to practice. Right? Everybody cool? All right. Oh, How many of you would like to see this worked through, tacked on to the end of the video? Okay, I'll work on it now, and it's still recording, so at the end of the video, this answer will be there for you. But you have to be good children and try it first. Deal? Scouts honor? You're all liars. You're going to slide the slider right up to the end. Guys going to make fun of me for that? There's only like 10 million scouts in the world. They all know what Scouts honor means.
Do you know, like, how do I do this one?
Of course I know how to do that one.
Like,
Because I'm the math teacher.
I don't know, like, this
You
one.
have the vertex.
Yeah, about this, yeah.
It's 0.5 instead of 1. You just do the same thing as all of these because you have the vertex. See, you got to put it in that form.
I know,
Okay.
I know this one, but I don't know, like, everyone have point of here,
Yeah?
but
So, it's in the video, Daichi, but look. I know the vertex. Vertex form is y equals ax minus p squared plus q, yes?
yes.
Okay. P is the vertex, right?
Yeah, bro.
Okay. So y equals a x minus p. So minus 1/2 because it's 0.5, right? Right?
Ah.
And what's the q? 0.
Q? Yeah, 0.
So I don't add 0.
Yeah.
So I have this. Now wait, don't go anywhere. Is that an x and a y? Is that an x and a y?
Yeah.
Can you then use them to find a? Okay. X is 1, right?
Yeah, I know.
So what can I write there?
Like 1.
1. So a 1 minus 1/2 squared equals what's y?
What's y? 3.
3.
Yeah.
What's 1 minus 1/2?
Minus 1. 1 minus 1. What?
1 minus 1/2
Like,
is a half,
Half,
right?
yeah.
A half squared is a quarter, right? So this side, this equals 3 equals 1/4 a.
yeah.
How do I get rid of 1/4?
Like,
Times by 4. So what do I do here? Times by 4. 12 equals a, right?
yeah.
There it is.
Yeah,
12
yeah.
is
that-
it.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mr. Myers, could we talk to you for a sec if you're not busy?
I'm not incredibly busy, so please do. Okay, guys, so I got 3 x's and y's here, right? So this first one we'll do in black. That's going to get me a, and I'm going to do every single step. Plus b times 4 plus c equals -3. Which is going to get me 16a plus 4b plus c equals -3. Then I'm going to work in red. And I'm going to get a times 6 squared plus b times 6 plus c equals 5, which is going to get me 36a plus 6b plus c equals 5. Then I'm going to work in blue. And I'm going to get a times -1 squared plus b times -1. And my computer's going to freeze. Plus c equals 12. Then I'm going to wait a second for it to refresh. Then I'm going to run it through. -1 squared is 1. So a minus b plus c equals 12. And those are the 3 equations that I need to work with. Now, all of you should be able to see how easy it will be to eliminate one of these variables right here, correct? Which one do you want to eliminate? That comes down to you deciding which one you wish to eliminate. Again, Max used the thing where, just 1 second, just hold, guys, wait, I got something happen. Sorry guys, lunch was taken up. Lunch is over. It's 11:40. I'll tack this on to a video later, or if I don't get to it tonight, we'll work through it tomorrow.